if you're thinking about being an expat in Colombia, the chances are very, very high that you're not gonna make it. Welcome to How to Expat. My name is Sam, and at How to Expat we help expats relocate. Before we start, don't forget that we have a video course about Medellin. It's called the Medellin e-guide, where we talk about the good, the bad and the ugly in Medellin from an expat's perspective. So if you're thinking about, when you're thinking about relocating to Medellin, go check it out. The link is in the description down below. About the video, I've been living here a little bit over 2 years now, and I've seen a lot of expats come and go, a lot of people, a lot of clients we had. So I think we have a very nice experience with expats and why they're not making it here long term in Colombia. I'm going to talk about a couple of points which I think are very, very important if you are at the point of thinking about relocating to Colombia. So the first thing is why people don't make it here in Colombia is they can't adapt. Of course, there are a lot of retirees here that have been living their life, let's say in the US or in their home country, no matter where it's from, for 30, 40, 50 years. It can be quite tough to adapt to a totally new culture here in Colombia. Even though the culture is not really too different compared to, let's say, if you go to Japan, but there's still some things you have to know, let's say the punctuality, how organized stuff is, how things get done, that this is not like a business-oriented country, but more like a people-based society, and all of those different things. So if you think you're a little bit more rigid in your thinking and you couldn't really adapt to certain things, and even if it's like the stupidest things ever, let's say, for example, the apartments here in Colombia are usually way, way smaller. So people that live in a house, let's say in the US, and then come here, they find themselves living in a space that is just 30% of what they're used to living. Which some people can't handle that, and they find themselves going back in a couple of months after thinking or having kind of the wish to be a long-term expat here. The other thing is false expectations. I see that time and time again from emails we get or from my clients or from just different foreigners in general, that they come here and they think it's, the kind of what they have in mind is way, way different what they could actually live with. So a couple of examples is, this is usually the better one. They come here and they think like it's like a jungle lifestyle or something like that, and then they find themselves in a modern city like Medellin or Bogota. This is usually kind of the happy surprises, so the where people think, oh, it's not so different than what I thought is or what I thought it is. But usually when people get into trouble, or when they, let's say, they move back after they did not make it here in Colombia, they come with the expectation of it's going to be extremely inexpensive. Everybody's going to treat me as kind of a king because I'm a foreigner, I'm the gringo here. And I can suddenly kind of afford all of these great things with the low budget I have. And then just other things of I'm able to rent a house here, which is not really the case, especially in the cities, and having a car and kind of more a US lifestyle expectation. They don't really make it here long term in Colombia. I already talked a little bit about it, which is the budget. So a lot of people, and I hear that again time and time again, they think they saw kind of in a blog or on our videos that the cost of living here is maybe $1,200, $1,500 a month, and they think they come here and they can just start out with that kind of budget. And usually what we see with people that have social security, that cannot really make it back in their home country, and this is the primary reason to move here, because they want to live with $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month. Those people don't really make it here either. First of all, most probably they come with the wrong reasons anyway, because if budget is kind of your only and primary reason to come, it's usually those people won't make it here either. But then the other hand is, how realistic is that budget really? Because you can live for less than $1,000 in Colombia, but not with what usually foreigners are comfortable with. So this is, you will have to have an accommodation which is very, very small. You have to get jump some hoops to get an unfurnished apartment quite fast. And there's just all of these different things. So no cereals for breakfast. You have to change what you eat and all of these things, which a lot of foreigners just cannot do. And that's why they find themselves not really being able to live around $1,200, $1,500 a month here in Colombia. And they're gonna have to move back because they couldn't make it happen with the budget here. And then the last thing is the visa situation. So if you're a retiree, pretty much you can skip this sector because it's very, very easy to get a retirement visa. But if you're a digital nomad, or let's say you're a business person, entrepreneur, it's not so easy actually to get a visa in Colombia compared to, let's say, Panama or maybe Costa Rica, where you can do the border hopping, which in Colombia you can't. And in Mexico, where the visa requirements are a little bit easier. Here in Colombia, it's quite tough. Colombia is not really a quote-unquote third world country where you just come in because you have a little bit of money. It's really, they crack down on a lot of these visa tricks people did in the past, and the thresholds of, let's say, getting in because you invest in a business or you have income from abroad, are very, very high. So usually people come here to think, yeah, they're gonna figure it out once they're here, and after usually the 6 months where a foreigner can stay in Colombia without a visa, they found out, wow, I can't really make it happen here because there's no real visa that applies to my specific lifestyle or what I can offer to Colombia to get a visa. So these were, I think, the 5 points why people won't make it long term here in Colombia. The solutions to that is really preparation. So watch all the videos you can, read the blogs. You can always take the videos and the blogs with a grain of salt, but I think it's good to just get different views of people that live here. And then the other thing is just come, you have to see it for yourself. You can watch all the videos you want, read all the blog articles you want, but you really have to come down here. It's usually not a good idea for people to being on the computer and then figuring out Colombia is for me, and they're gonna wanna make the jump like right away. First, you should come here and visit the country first. Visit the different cities because it's very, very different, and then try to figure out if it's something for you with the research you've done, with the visa. Would you be able to adapt to the culture? Does the budget sustain that idea of you being an expat in Colombia? And then, another thing you could do is have a Skype consultation with us. We offer Skype consultation. The link to that is in the description down below too. That might make sense if you're already a little bit further in your steps and you want to clear up specific questions you have. But good preparation is really the thing here to make it happen and not lose a lot of money for kind of moving down here, moving your stuff, buying all these airplane tickets, try to make it happen, and then figuring out after the honeymoon phase is over that it's not really for you. I hope this video helped. Don't forget about the Medellin e-guide, the video course, or if you want to talk with us personally, the Skype consultation. And again, hope this video helped. See you in the next video.